Is it recording? Yeah, it's recording. Okay, guys. Welcome to my video. This is like take 11, probably. I really don't know what take it is, but yeah. Like, I recorded so many times and I realized I am just all over the place. So I kind of wrote a little bit of a guide. I don't know if you guys can see it. I can't see what you guys are looking at, honestly. So, now this video is not to be like factual, you know. It's not to be like I'm gonna present this to fucking the government to try and get it legalized. And like, no, it's not gonna be completely factual. It's mainly just like my experiences, what I think about them, and yeah. So we're gonna start off with weed. Okay, so we're gonna start off with salvia and DMT because I do want to talk about those ones because I think they're so interesting, but I have never done them. All the other ones you see up on there, weed, shrooms, LSD, coke, inhalants, and yes, even alcohol, I have done. So, where to start? Well, let's start off with, if my dad sees this video, you know, he always used to tell me not to do drugs, and I have done them, so sorry, Dad. Oh well. Also, yes, I do gotta throw this out there. If you guys don't do drugs already, do not do them. Don't let this be an excuse like, oh wow, he made it seem so awesome, or I don't know what it's gonna seem like by the end of this video, but don't do them. I don't think they're for everybody, okay? If you're gonna do what you're gonna do, but like, if you want my opinion, just don't do them, okay? Also, we might talk about God in this video. Not sure. I'm really not sure how long the video is gonna be, or if it's even gonna align with the video. Maybe I have to make a whole another video. We're gonna see. So, and yes, I know the lighting's bad. Lighting is bad. My light's broken. Tried fixing it, but. And then also, I am still sick, so if I'm like sneezing or sniffling, coughing, or even just like out of breath, yeah, I'm like dying here. I'm like congested and shit. We're gonna start off with weed. Okay, so the cost of weed is about, depending where you can get it, you know, you can either get it through like a Snapchat dealer. They'll be cheaper, but also like, you know, maybe shitty weed, you don't want to trust that product, whatever, because yeah. But dispensary, maybe $35 per gram. How long does it last in your system? About an hour or two. So if you smoke it, probably gonna last about like an hour or two. The phases, really, there's nothing too amazing about weed. It's just like you got high, you know. That's like the phase. Like, you smoke it, wait like maybe 15 minutes, and then you can start feeling the effects. And then there might be like a peak, and then they come down, you know. The reason why some people do it is because it numbs them. All right, so numbs them. It's kind of like a getting away from reality, and yeah. You know, I'm not gonna talk about weed too much because like, I just don't think it's that awesome of a drug. So weed is the gateway drug though. That's what we gotta know. Weed is the gateway drug. The pros of it, right? So yeah, so the pros is like you forget about your life and you have a good time. At least you're gonna have a good time when, you know, in my experience when I was younger. You know, whenever I do weed now, it's kind of like whatever, because so drugs in general is people do them, right? People do them because they either just like, they don't like something about their self, they don't have enough self-love, or there's like a deep down like traumatic issue or something there. There has to be something why people do drugs. You're never gonna meet someone that just loves life and they do drugs. Like, nah, bro. Cons. Yeah, you can get bad trips, you know, and there's memory loss and procrastination. a lot more cons than there is pros. So that's that. How long does it last in your system? Depending on how you do it. Like, so there's bud. Well, I guess I should have talked about the different types first. So different types. The strains is sativa, which sativa is more like an upper kind of. You're still gonna feel very numb, but it's like an upper. You're gonna have more chance to getting bad trips. And then there's indica, which is more like very relaxed and like you just slow, chill, mellow. And this is the type that a lot of people prefer because you get a lot less bad trips. And then there's hybrid, which is sativa and indica mixed together, and there's like a different percentages of which kind is it. Indica dominant, is it sativa dominant? And then so okay, how long does it last in your system? If you're smoking the bud, which you can smoke either through joint, blunt, you know, pipe, bong, bowl, it'll last less longer than if you're smoking wax. Okay, different ways you can smoke wax is through the pen or like a dab rig. There's a lot of different kinds. Like there's like a helix dabber. There's a okay, boom. Who gives a shit? I'm gonna skip that part just because I'm all over the place and I just kind of want to get weed over with. There's nothing very unique about weed. It's pretty lame. I guess the only unique thing is that it's legal in a lot of states. So story time about it is, as we know, it's the gateway drug. You know, I have many friends who have started smoking weed in like 3rd or 4th grade, and then mainly because I used to hang out a lot with like the bad kids, not really bad, but like the troublemakers, I guess. And a lot more people started doing it in middle school, and then a lot of people ended up doing it in high school. I think that's where most people start to do marijuana, weed, Mary Jane, all the same thing. I personally started doing it in high school. I didn't do it sooner because my dad used to always tell me, don't do drugs. You know, if a friend offers you drugs, that's not a real friend, right? And I agree. Like, if you don't ever think about doing drugs, and you don't do them, and someone's like trying to make you do them, that person's not a good person, okay? I would never offer anybody drugs that they don't want to do it, or they ain't ever think about doing it, or they're not on the ropes about it. Even if you are on the ropes, like other drugs, like shrooms, like if I'm talking about it with someone and they're like unsure, I just tell them like, look, bro, if you're unsure, don't do it, okay? It's not for you. It's not for everybody. So, yeah, I'm kind of just gonna skip over weed because I don't really think it's too interesting. You know, I think weed is more like a high school phase. Maybe some people do it when they're older, but like that's because they don't want to do other drugs and they just feel safe and comfortable doing weed. But or is it really just like the reason why? I said already, they just want to numb themselves out, right? So now we're gonna talk about my favorite drug of all. Actually, before we do that, we're gonna talk about inhalants real quick. Boom. Inhalants. These things will fuck your shit up, okay? I have did it a couple of times, or I've done it a couple of times in junior high, and just like the air dusting can just. And what my experience from it is pretty fucking useless, honestly, because all really you see is like, I would see, not with my eyes, but I would kind of see it in my brain. I don't know how to really explain that, but like flashing lights, like red and blue, like flashing lights, and then you hear this sound. At least I heard the sound like ring, 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 I guess that sound is your fucking brain cells dying. So yeah, I've killed plenty of brain cells in junior high doing that shit. But yeah, I mean, good thing like I never really did it like too serious. I've only did it like max maybe 4-5 times, and it's fucking pointless. Don't do that shit. You know, it's like all that like galaxy gas stuff. You don't need to do it. Never do that shit, honestly. Okay, let's get into it. Shrooms, baby. So shrooms is my favorite drug of all. Shrooms and LSD, they're kind of like the same thing. Kind of, okay? I guess the biggest difference is that, well, shrooms is natural, and also shrooms, it's gonna, when you're on the trip, I don't know how to explain it, but like, whenever you start tripping, shrooms is kind of more like the driver. They take the wheel. And they're going to take you wherever the fuck they want to take you. And if you try and fight that feeling, like, you're just not going to have a good time. So you just kind of got to just, like, relax, sit there, and let it do what it's going to do. And then LSD is more like, now you're the driver, and you have more control over it. Anyways, we're not talking about LSD, so we're talking about shrooms. And let's go over the features of it. So the cost is about $5.50 per gram. I don't know anybody that sells it by the gram though. Maybe like on Snapchat, but I don't know if I want to trust no Snapchat dealer with shrooms, because there's 2 different ways to get it. Is like infused in chocolate or something, like infused in something, the psilocybin, or the shroom itself. And it's very rare, maybe not rare, but it's uncommon to find like just shrooms itself, because it is illegal, and it's a lot more common to find like infused shit. So about 5.5 grams or $5.50 per gram. How long does it last? About 6 to 8 hours. Okay, but like those last couple of hours are gonna be like on the downside. So I guess we'll talk about the phases right now. So different phases of shrooms is the nauseous phase. It's not a good feeling at first, especially if you eat, especially if you overeat. Like, you're not gonna have a good time. If you overeat, or even just eat like a heavy meal, you're gonna be in the nauseous. It's like the phase you start to feel the effects of it, and then the peak phase, and then the come down phase. Reason why people do it is really like self-discovery, or because it's also like a hallucinogen. Maybe some people want to hallucinate, but I mean, really, like, if you want to hallucinate, just do LSD instead. Because I mean, shrooms, like, you don't really get too much, depending how much you do, really. You don't really get too much hallucinogen or hallucinations. But self-discovery is like the main reason why people do it, and you learn a lot from doing it. Cons, honestly, bro, I can't really tell you any cons, because like some people may tell you like a con might be like ego death, because the ego death on shrooms could be so hard. But I mean, once you kind of realize that, you know, bad trips aren't really bad trips, it's just you're kind of rejecting change. Because, okay, we're gonna start off with, okay, the unique thing about shrooms is that it changes the way you think permanently. Okay, that could be scary. You know, I think it's scary that it just completely changes you. And, you know, just from one time doing it, do it one time and you're changed. And in your brain, it actually builds and develops new neuron pathways. So it does make you smarter, I would say. And thing about ego deaths is that, okay, the thing about shrooms is that, think about like you have a power strip or an outlet, right? The power strip is your brain, your soul, your spirit, all that, right? It's you. And instead of plugging it into the wall, you're gonna plug it into yourself. So whenever you do shrooms, like you really just, you're doing like, you're searching into your own self. That's what it really is. How long does it last in your system? About 2 to 3 days. I mean, like I said, this is not a factual thing because I don't really remember. It might be like a day or two, but there's 2 to 3 days to be safe. The unique thing about it, I already went over that. Okay, so story time about shrooms. Where to start, man? Story time about shrooms, huh? Well, when is the first time I did shrooms? I guess it was like a very slow, gradual upping the dosage with it. I started off with a quarter of a gram, and then I think the last time or last couple times I did it was like 6 grams and also like 8 grams. And the very last time I did shrooms, I did have my ego death big time, and I haven't done it since. Do I still love them? Yeah, I love them, but I was not ready for that perspective in my life. And I'm not gonna really go over the things that it made me realize, because that's like personal and private, and I think everyone should have like their own personal things to themselves. But it first started off like just you feel amazing. Oh, actually, the first time I ever did shrooms was in high school. I did it at school, and I remember just feeling like Superman, like unstoppable, man. And my friends did it with me that same exact day, and they had a completely different experience because, like I said, it's like you're plugging into your own self. So you're just looking to yourself, right? So I had the experience of I was unstoppable, and they had the experience of like they hallucinated more, you know, like they saw like the words come off the paper. Yeah, very different experience than what I had. And if you do it, you're gonna have a different experience than I had also. So that was the very first time I did it, and then I started doing it a lot more the last couple of years, or past couple of years, I guess. Yeah. I'm kind of like all over the place here. You know, I got to the point where I started timing my trips, and I started to study it. And so about, and it all depends like how much you take, how much you eat, how much you weigh, for the timelines, right? But like the first, once you eat it 10-15 minutes, you're gonna feel nothing, and then you're gonna hit the nauseous phase. Like after that 15 minutes, you hit the nauseous phase. You know, you feel like throwing up. You feel like you just want to lay down. It is not a good feeling at all. That's why I recommend doing it without eating, and that nauseous phase is just gonna feel so much better. What I started doing as I got more experience with it is right when I hit the nauseous phase, right when I started like the beginning of it, I just started working out. And let me tell you, I got the best fucking workout of my life. Every time I would work out, it was like the best pump ever. What's it called? After that, yeah, you can just chill, you know, like have LEDs up, turn off all the lights, listen to music, draw, and you're gonna have a great time. Or, I mean, like, I mean, it's not like you can really, because like I said, shrooms has the driver's wheel, so if you experience them, just enjoy it. You watch other people's videos like microdosing in public. Some people they take like a microdose, they go to the beach, they do whatever, and yeah. But I still think it's like medicine, and well, because it builds those neural pathways in your brain, and they last the whole lifetime. And also, the biology of shrooms and human beings. People say, I haven't looked it up myself, so I don't know how true it is, but supposedly the research shows that human beings have more in common with shrooms than we actually have in common with monkeys. So they say that, that we evolved together because, like, caveman days, whatever, like, you got like a lazy ass caveman or whatever, and all of a sudden, he eats some fucking magic mushrooms, and all these things start going through his brain, and all of a sudden now he's like hunting, and, like, I don't know, maybe you guys have a different experience, but whenever I take shrooms, I get very primal, and it's a great fucking feeling. Like, feral. I just get feral for it. And because, like, in today's society, like, men, like, we are taught to be like this, obeying. Like, we just gotta obey everything, all the rules, and we're scared to just do what the fuck we wanna do because society's gonna look at us however, or like, like, look at all these famous people getting canceled because of cancel culture. It's like, bruh. I remember, like, whenever I took it and then I walked out of my room and I was just out in the sun, like, looking out in the distance, like people like playing rugby, and I felt like a panther, bruh. And this is where I got the idea that I wanted to get sleeves, at least one sleeve, with just like leopard print all over. And then I also had the idea where I wanted to get another tattoo right here in my armpit, like a forest with like little gnomes and like shrooms growing and like different kind of trees. And yeah, but like, I don't know, like you can feel, whenever I felt like a panther, like I felt like my teeth, like they were like sharper and stuff, like, I don't know. But after a while, I started really feeling like the effects of the shrooms became like stronger in my body. Not like the effects of it, but like I could feel like it was inside of me more. Like I could feel the shrooms in my hair strands. I could feel it in my teeth, in my nails. And yeah, it's very interesting. I tried experimenting with it a lot, and yeah, I mean, I like it. What else about shrooms? I guess that's kind of it, because I don't want this video to be too long. Maybe another video we might talk about shrooms again, but I'm gonna move on to LSD. LSD is kind of like shrooms, but you're more in control of it, and I guess you'll hallucinate more. Okay, yeah, so like shrooms, like the way that you will hallucinate, I guess, is like how I talked about. You see the vibrations in your body whenever you work out, and the blood all moving, and then like if you're like, I was sitting on the toilet and like I would just stare at the floor, and you just see shit moving, and it dilates your eyes. Like if you take quite a bit of it, like if you take a little bit, it's probably not gonna do shit, but if you take quite a bit and you do it for a while, like you're gonna start noticing like your eyes dilate. And I'm pretty sure some people have caught me doing it, but they ain't never said anything. Um, yeah. Anyways, LSD, it's like, I remember when I first did it and I saw the hallucinations was like the blinds on top of a window, like they started like moving like this, and then I was like, there's no way they're actually moving, you know, like. But it made my brain work a lot faster. Same thing with like on shrooms too. Like I played video games a lot better, a lot fucking better. And then I remember on LSD for that first time, I was playing Fortnite. Oh my gosh, bro, I was on God mode, bro. Like I wasn't even trying. I wasn't even in the zone. I was just like chilling, and I was still dogging up on niggas for real. But yeah, and like I have fun too. Like I also like took an LSD and gone to the beach and played like this brand new game. Forgot what it was, but it was so fun. And like one thing I noticed on shrooms though that I remember telling one of my friends is that, and this also goes along with why I say it's medicine, because it fixes you up. It really does. And like I have wanted to tell other people like, hey, like try this out, but I don't want to give them something that they don't, you know, they don't want. But is that I was playing volleyball on shrooms one time, and I was getting so competitive. I'm a competitive person, and I was like in the zone, bro. I haven't been in the zone like that ever, really. Yeah, but like been a long time. And I remember telling my friend that people aren't actually depressed, they're just not used to moving their body. Because whenever you move your body, like exercise has so much benefits to it, especially whenever you push it to the limits. And alright, so on to coke, right? Like I said, I've done it like 2-3 times. I don't really like the effects doesn't hit you as hard, I guess, as like shrooms or LSD will, or even weed, because like on shrooms and LSD, you know you're high. You feel absolutely different. Same thing with like weed, like once you get like, because like weed you can kind of control like how high you get. Same thing with like shrooms also, depending how much you take. But like you know you're fucking high, like damn. With coke, I didn't really get that feeling. That I know I'm high. I guess like what I felt is like whenever you snort it, is like your nose might go a little bit numb, and you get like this like ashy kind of taste in your throat. That's what I kind of got. And I first did it while I smoked a cigarette, and I thought like the cigarette was what I was tasting. Then I did it again without smoking, and then I was like, oh, okay, so that's just the coke. And yeah, it feels kind of good. Like I guess you can get like a tingly sensation in like your face, but it's also like, I don't know if it's really worth it, because, or maybe I just did a little bit, because I only did like key bumps, I never did like a whole line. And I just don't think it's worth it, especially how expensive it is. It's like $100 a bag, I think. Not too sure because I never bought it myself. Or like if you ever have done like betel nut, like it's kind of like the same feeling. Like betel nut, your whole like, okay, nicotine, you can kind of feel like maybe some of your face like goes a little bit tingly or numb, like especially like the pouches. If you do the pouches, you know what I'm talking about. But if you do betel nut, you feel your entire fucking head, like your entire head, like just. And then the only thing about betel nut is like it stains your teeth. What's it called? Yeah, I would say like one of my dreams not a goal, but like a dream, like it would be cool to do it, is like, I always tell people this, like have a threesome in a jacuzzi, two absolute bad bitches while you're all on coke. Like that sounds like fun. But anyways, that's all I really have for coke. Let's talk about alcohol first, I guess, before we go into sativa and or salvia. I mean, not sativa, salvia and DMT. So alcohol. A lot of you guys know what alcohol feels like. Like, I think it's cool. You know, it gets you numb and makes you do a lot of stupid things, and it's liquid courage. You know, but I feel like once you start using alcohol kind of daily, like you got a problem, bro. It's very dangerous. I think alcohol is more damaging than weed is. But it's very fun whenever you go out. Like if you ever get like blacked out drunk, you go do some stupid shit, you know you're always gonna have like a good time and some good memories to tell whenever you're older and you have kids or whatever. Like, yeah, your dad, you know, he used to do this dumb shit, blah blah blah. But it's not that awesome. It's very damaging, and that's all I have for alcohol. But salvia, bro. So salvia is the drug that, you know, people smoke it, and they literally say that they become an inanimate object for like years at a time, like 100 years or something, you know? And that sounds like very fun, especially like whenever you start reading stories about, like on Reddit or whatever. Like there was this story about this person did salvia and they became the ceiling fan for like a certain amount of years. I forgot how many, but like let's say like 70 years or whatever, or like 50 years. And then like he saw this family go into like start to live in the house, and they built a life there, and he's just witnessing it. You know, he can't move, he can't talk, he's just the ceiling fan, and he's just looking at all this happening from up above. And then all of a sudden he sees that they have kids, and the kids get older and they bring friends over, you know, like. And then there's like other stories, like this guy was the drainage pipe for some amount of years, and this other person was like the paint on the wall, and they didn't know they were the paint on the wall until like a couple years, and then they realized, and blah blah blah, and they can't do nothing. They just see the family living in the house. Like, it's giving those vibes of Rick and Morty whenever they play the one game where he puts his shit on and he lives that one person's life, and it's like, oh shit, this person's taking them off the grid, you know. Salvia is very scary. It seems like I never want to do it. It's just it sounds awesome. Like another story is like this person was a change. He was changed in the couch, and it's like, what the fuck. And then other people were like, they were the moon, or, you know. And the horrible thing about it is like, there's this one person, and he said that he like had a family or whatever in that like dream state of being on salvia. And, you know, once ever like you stop becoming high, you kind of miss like your old family or something like that. I think that was just him, maybe. Yeah, kind of weird experience. DMT, so dimethyltryptamine is it's the spirit molecule. And so if you guys don't know what dimethyltryptamine is, it's just another tryptamine, but it has like an extra something to it. I forgot, but that's what makes you like kind of trip. And it's in our spine. So in our spine we have a spinal fluid, and our brains are so like protected that they only allow like water to go to our brain using osmosis, right? Have you guys ever heard of that? I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of it. Probably forgot about it, but it uses osmosis to pass the barrier to get water to the other side. The only other thing that it allows to go in it, guess what, bad boy? Dimethyltryptamine. And the thing about it is like our body naturally produces it, and when you die, it spikes like the production by like I don't know how much, I forgot, but it spikes the production of DMT. And some people say that it is you know how like your life flashes before you whenever you die supposedly, or like you see the light at the end of the tunnel, like that's, some people want to associate that with the DMT spike whenever you die. I don't know how people would test that. You know, so yeah. And it gives you crazy visuals, and you realize like the world is like just geometry, this geometric nightmare of colors, and it really is. Like if you think about how our bodies are, we're just a bunch of vibrations, like Nikola Tesla said. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like our molecules, we never touch each other, and you can see videos of like how the molecules, they interact with each other whenever they touch, and they just kind of like they have like a little force field, and they're pushing each other. And then there's a book I haven't finished it, I probably should. It's called DMT, the Spirit Molecule. It's about like this guy, he tests like DMT, and they do like different tests, like intravenous, intramuscular, and some people actually have the ability to taste it, and it tastes like very bitter. Not everybody has that. I think it's called genome. Not sure, but no, not everybody has that ability to taste the DMT, and yeah, it's kind of like LSD, but very strong, and it lasts not that long. Like if you do it, I think, so intramuscular, it'll take a while to hit you, but then the effects last longer. Intravenous, it is, what's it called? It hits you very quick, but the effects last like 15-30 minutes. And yeah, like I've never done it. I don't want to do it. It sounds very scary because it's such a strong effect. And if you guys ever want to do DMT, I suggest you do LSD first, just to get like that kind of a feel for it. But I mean, I think it's just interesting how drugs, you know, God's creation actually, because like God created all of this, you know, shrooms, like we kind of evolved with them, and we learned a lot from them, and like you could have one ego death on shrooms, and that was all you needed, you know, you never needed to touch it again. And DMT, like our body produces it naturally, and salvia, like I don't know, just drugs are super interesting. They affect us completely different, and if you don't abuse them, like they can just be an awesome experience, learning experience also. Because like on salvia, you know, some people like they genuinely started to appreciate little things, and same thing when I'm on shrooms. Like whenever I take shrooms, I start noticing and appreciating all the little things. Like I remember like this one time, like I was taking a piss, and then I'm looking at the walls and all this. I'm like I'm such an asshole, like because because like I don't clean the walls, like the poor walls, like they need my attention, you know, like they want me to clean them. And like this plant right here, like, oh, like this plant, like this poor thing ever never gets love, like I should give it like some I don't know, like it's an experience, man. But yeah, just remember, like, God, he created everything. And one of my prayers, like how I say, is like not drugs isn't for everybody. And one of my prayers I think is very special to me whenever I do pray to him is like, I guess not a prayer, but like thanking God for everybody being unique and having different personalities. I think that's all I'm gonna have for this video. It didn't come out as like passionate as I thought it was going to be. And honestly, I have recorded this video so many times, and I've said so many different things in the other parts, and I was like, gosh, like I'm not really feeling this video, but I said I was gonna post it, so I'm gonna post it anyways. I am. But yeah, I think the money video is gonna be a lot more. I'm gonna be more happy to post that one and to make that one, because also money is very interesting, because, well, I guess you'll just see whenever I make that video. But I'm just kind of exploring my taste right now, like what do I like making videos about. You know, I have gaming videos. I have a bunch of gaming videos I have never posted. So the future holds a lot of interesting things for me. That's all I got, y'all. Peace. Alright, honorable mention. I think I want to do the honorable mentions like every video, damn near. But one thing is, like, I tried making the video more interesting and fun, because like I think whenever you make things more interesting and fun, people learn more from it. And so like every like other like topic I would talk about, like I would like switch the hat without you guys knowing. Like I have like a bunch of hats. I have like the Dodger hat, Santa hat, straw hat. I have like a helmet. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try and start getting creative. Maybe like whenever I'm doing the teachings videos like this compared to the vlogs, I might try and make it a little bit more funny or interactive. Who knows? But that's the honorable mention. Peace.